It is Sunday the 17th of June 2018. I'm in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, and I'm looking at one of the younger members of the congregation, one Shannon Horan. Well, she's behind the pillar right now, but yeah, there she is. And it looks like she's about to try and hose down my chalk slogans which protest against Unitarian Universalist cover up and denial of child sex abuse. So it looks like she's on her way here with the hose. She will hose down these slogans which protest against child sex abuse of children, and also the cover up and denial of sexual abuse of children by the Unitarian Universalist religious community, including the highest levels of leadership of the Unitarian Universalist Church in North America, but also by Montreal Unitarians. When a Montreal Unitarian, oh, she's watering the flowers first. Who knows, maybe she changed her mind about watering down my chalk slogans to erase them. Maybe she realizes basically participating in the cover-up. We'll see, we'll keep the camera ready. But let's just say that it wouldn't be the first time that she has hosed down my chalk slogans to help Unitarians hide child sex abuse, and also the cover-up and denial of child sex abuse by the Unitarian Universalist Church. So we'll see what happens, but definitely anticipating that Ms. Horan will come and erase my chalk slogans here. So I got a guy pulling up on a bike here, and we got a car coming up the street. So essentially, if Ms. Horan does come and erase this chalk slogan which says Unitarians cover up and deny child sex abuse, she will be a knowing and willful participant in the cover up and denial of child sex abuse by Montreal Unitarians and Unitarian Universalists more generally. So here's another Montreal Unitarian coming to church, and I've seen her quite a few times. You know, one of the things, you know, if they're not busy actively covering up and denying child sex abuse, they're certainly ignoring my protest, you know, pretending that it has no validity, you know, that there's either no child sex abuse in the Unitarian Universalist Church, or there's no cover up and denial of, whoops, blame the wind coming out of your church. So, the wind, excuse me.
It's not necessary to say blame the wind coming out of your church.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind coming out of your church. That was the point I was trying to make. A lot of hypocrisy, two-faced bullshit. So, and it is necessary to say that when you're guilty of so much hypocrisy. So that's a woman who got upset because I said the wind coming out of her church blew my picket sign away. The fact of the matter is my picket signs have been stolen by Montreal Unitarians and kicked and thrown into the street. So it's not always. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes to help Unitarians hide child sex abuse and the cover up and denial of child sex abuse. Oh, don't get my signs wet. Don't get my signs wet. So here we have Ashley Horan, knowing and willful participant. Shannon Horan, who's not the least bit ashamed of helping Unitarians cover up and hide child sex abuse, and the fact that the Unitarian Church covers up and hides child sex abuse. Very, very pathetic behavior on the part of Shannon Horan. So yeah, just the heights of hypocrisy here at the Unitarian Church of Montreal. I was just...
When you are doing like this, you don't help people, man.
I am helping hide, or I should say I'm helping expose the fact that Unitarians hide child sex abuse. Ashley's the one who's doing the hiding here. Oh, so here they are coordinating the erasure of my chalk slogans. That's David Rollert, the husband of the minister, who is basically talking to Shannon about my chalk slogans, you know, which ones to erase. So,
Is it your first time here? Yeah. Oh, okay.
well, here comes David Horan with a yeah, a little rainbow here. So, yeah, unfortunate how Montreal Unitarians like Shannon Horan and David Rollert and Stalin Slouse and quite a few others are much more interested in covering up and hiding Unitarian Universalism's clergy abuse problem than dealing appropriately with it. So, oh, here we have the church's mission statement, which I find incredibly ironic. It says, Notre communauté spirituelle accueille, nourrit, inspire, stimule. Ensemble, nous agissons dans le monde. Well, right now we have David Rollert and Shannon Horan working together to help Unitarian Universalists hide the fact that there's a certain amount of child sex abuse committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers and Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers. So this is one of the ways that Montreal Unitarians take action in the world. And we can see the English version here. So the English version says, as a spiritual community, we welcome and nurture, we inspire and challenge, we take action in the world. Well, we got the Stalin Slouse over there pulling out the hose. So yeah, here's their Stalin Slouse there, president of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. So Stalin Slouse, and there's David Rollert. And here we have Ashley Horan again. I mean Shannon. Shannon, yeah, shout it. Tell the whole world it's Shannon Horan who's helping Unitarians cover up child sex abuse. Well done. So there's David having a good look at my picket sign here. And oh yeah, get a good photo of that, David. Get a good photo of that. In the meantime, I'll put my picket sign back up that fell down. So yeah, basically Montreal Unitarians only too happy to participate in the cover-up and denial of child sex abuse committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers and Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers and ordinary Unitarian Universalist lay people. Oh, so it's Stalin Slouse Makiewicz, president of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, erasing my chalk slogan, which protests against Unitarian Universalist sexual abuse of children and the cover-up and denial of sexual abuse of children by the Unitarian Universalist Church. And in fact, Stalin Slouse is participating in the cover-up and denial of sexual abuse of children right now. Well done, Stalin Slouse. Your Father's Day good deed is to help Unitarians hide sexual abuse of children committed by Unitarian Universalist fathers. Well done, Stalin Slouse. And you know, I'm not sure if Stalin Slouse is a father himself, but if he is, he chose Father's Day to once again, because it's not the first time, once again help Unitarian Universalists conceal from the public the fact that A, some Unitarian Universalist ministers are guilty of sexual abuse of children. Indeed, some Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers are also guilty of the sexual abuse of children, not to mention ordinary lay people. And and they're covering up and denying it in various ways. Believe me, erasing my chalk slogans like this isn't even necessarily the worst way in which Unitarian Universalists cover up and deny pedophilia and rape. For instance, we have the signs here saying Unitarian Universalists misuse blasphemy law to cover up and deny pedophilia and rape, which Shannon Horan decided to get wet while she was erasing my chalk slogan. So she erased the PurpleSummer chalk slogan. I'm sure David Lean will be rather annoyed about that. So anyway, that's it. That's another way in which Unitarian Universalists cover up and deny child sex abuse. They falsely accuse me of violating Canada's anti-blasphemy law in legal bullying that's intended to cover up and possibly even outright deny what the Unitarian Universalist Association's Canadian attorney, Maître Marc-André Coulombe, describes as such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. So that's one way. Another way is to just plain brazenly lie about sexual abuse of children in an apology, an official board apology to victims of Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual misconduct. Just under 4 years ago, at the 2014 General Assembly of the Unitarian Universalist Association, UUA moderator Jim Key, also known as James See No Evil Key, brazenly lied about the sexual abuse of children by Unitarian Universalist ministers in what was supposed to be an official apology by the UUA Board of Trustees to victims of clergy sexual misconduct. In the middle of his basically worthless apology, UUA moderator James See No Evil Key stated the following words as part of his official apology. There were no incidents of abuse of children or elders in my investigations. This is an outright, brazen, bald-faced lie by UUA moderator Jim Key, and so far nobody's called him on it. So got a woman here rather aggressively approaching the church. Thought she might run into me with her bike possibly. I bet she was thinking about it. Anyhow, well, we're off to a really good start to our extended PurpleSummer protest. Basically have video footage of Shannon Horan and David Roll, the husband of the minister of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, Rev Diane Roll. We can see it right here. Rev Diane Roll, minister, pastor, by the way, I think it means shepherd. Quite the shepherd Rev Diane Roll it is, knowingly and willfully helping her church conceal sexual abuse of children with the help of her husband. So yes, as a spiritual community, Montreal Unitarians welcome and nurture pedophiles and rapists, if you don't mind my saying so, because they, in covering up and hiding sexual abuse of children and other clergy sexual abuse, they essentially protect the abusers. You know, and for every abuser that ends up in jail because somebody rightly reported their crimes to the police, you can be sure that there are others who will never see a court of law. You can be sure that there are other Unitarian Universalist abusers of children who have never been charged, tried, and convicted. So every time the Unitarian Church tries to cover up and hide abuse of children, whether sexual or otherwise, they essentially welcome and nurture that abuse, allow it to continue because they don't address it properly. We inspire and challenge. Well, yeah, I guess they inspire Shannon Horan and Stalin Slouse and David Rollert to come out and erase my chalk slogans, not to mention a bunch of other people here at the Church of Montreal to do that. And of course, you know, they challenge my truth-telling by erasing it. So that's basically an unethical challenge that they pose. And then, you know, that's the kind of actions they take in the world. They basically take action in the world to cover up and hide sexual abuse of children by Unitarian Universalist ministers and Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers and so on. So yeah, that's just some of the immoral and unethical and borderline criminal and even actually criminal behavior that Montreal Unitarians engage in. Speaking of criminal behavior on the part of Montreal Unitarians, it's a crime to make a false report to the police, and Montreal Unitarians have made quite a few false reports to the police over the span of my protest. And it's also a crime to assault people. I've been assaulted on several occasions by Montreal Unitarians. It's a crime to steal, and I've had some of my picket signs stolen by Montreal Unitarians, to say nothing of Ottawa Unitarians and so on in the past. So that's another crime committed by Montreal Unitarians, the theft of my picket signs. And then uttering threats is a crime, and I've had threats uttered against me by several Montreal Unitarians, including Jim Wilson, who I actually had charged with uttering threats, and he was subjected to non-judicial treatment for his criminal act of uttering threats. I also had Queen's Counsel lawyer Kevin Howard QC charged with theft and assault because he technically assaulted me while stealing a couple of my picket signs quite a while ago. And because he was a Queen's Counsel lawyer who was essentially telling me that, oh, I can get away with this because, you know, I'm a big shot lawyer and nothing will happen, you know, I said, well, let's find out what happens, you know. So I filed theft charges against them, and after consulting with some other people, I brought assault charges against him as well, even though the assault, you know, I wasn't like hurt physically, but he did basically push me around a bit. So these charges were brought against Kevin Howard QC, and they stuck. And he too was subjected to non-judicial treatment for his criminal acts. Yeah, basically some of the actions that Montreal Unitarians take in the world are outright criminal. That's it for now.